So, Chapter 3, Lesson 5 is divide multi-digit numbers. Okay? And we said to scan the lesson and predict 2 things you will learn about dividing multi-digit numbers, and here is what we're going to talk about. We are going to learn how to use estimation to find the number of digits in a quotient. Okay? You can add that to your text if you'd like. We are going to learn how to divide each place value. All right, so this part I would like for you to write in your spiral. Okay? I would like you to write in your spiral. This is some new vocabulary. So we have when one number is divided by another, the result is called the quotient. The result is called the quotient. The dividend is the number that's getting divided. Okay? The dividend is the number that's getting divided. All right? And the divisor is the number that is being used to divide that other number. Okay? When you are at rest, it takes about 60 seconds for a single blood cell to travel around your body and back to your heart. In 120 seconds, about how many times does a single blood cell travel around your body and back to your heart? We want to write the dividend, the divisor, and the quotient in the diagram below. Okay? So, if you look at that, what number is being divided? Yes. 120. Very good. 120 is our dividend. Which number is the one that's being used to divide? 60. Very good. 60 is our divisor. So what's 120 divided by 60? 2. 2, right? And that is the quotient. Is everybody clear? Yes. All right, very good. All right, so we're going to divide 3-digit dividends. In this lesson, you will divide multi-digit numbers, and we're going to use estimation to help us place the first digit in the quotient. Now, you don't have to write all this, but I do want you to write the title, the section title, okay? You're going to write divide 3-digit dividends. So, here we have 351 divided by 9. 351 divided by 9. Okay? First, we're going to estimate. Okay? So we're going to say that 351 is about 360, right? Okay? And 9, of course, is 9, right? So, how many times, using that little estimation, how many times does 9 go into 360? Well, you know what times 9 is 36. What times 9 is 36? 4, right? So we're going to estimate around 4, right? So when you do this, that's how you get into the ballpark, right? When you do the problem, you're going to find out that 4 is too much. Then you're going to have to do it again, right? So here we have 9 dividing into 35. So 35 divided by 9, because 9 times 4 is 36, we know that 4 would be too much. Does that make sense? Yes. So we've got 35 divided by 9 is 3. So then we multiply. 9 times 3 is 27. Then we subtract. Once you subtract, then you bring down the 1, and then you finish the problem. How many times does 9 go into 81? 9 times. Put that at the top with the quotient. And 9 times 9 is 81. You subtract, and now you have no remainder. Got it? All right. Let's take a look at the next example here. Okay? So here we have 878 divided by 31. Again, we're gonna try some estimation to help us figure out the first number. Okay? So 878 is about 900, right? We make it easy, right? So 878 is about 900. 31 is about 30. So when I estimate, I'm doing 900 divided by 30. Does everybody see that I can say, oh, this is, how many times is 90 divided by 3? Okay, so that's going to go in like 3 times right here. 30, it's going to be 30, right? So it's going to be close to that. So we know when we estimate, the 3 might be too much, right? Which it is. So we're going to put a 2 up here, right? So, because, so 2 times 31 is 62. We know that 30 times 3 is 90. And when we look at that number, isn't that too much? Isn't 90 too much? Yes. So that's why rather than using 3 that we estimated, we're going to use 2. So go in 2 times. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. All right. So now we have 2 times 31 is 62. Subtract, and then bring down the 8. And then we can continue with our problem. How many times is 31? Go into 248. That would be 8. Then we can multiply, get 248, and then subtract. Then we would have our remainder, which is 10, and then you would write R10 at the top. All right, so for the first one, we're going to do example A and B. So we've got 768 divided by 8. Now, look at how I've written this problem. Okay? When I read A, it says 768 divided by 8. Right? So that means 768 is the dividend because it's the one that's getting divided. When I say divided by 8, that means that one is the divisor. The divided by. That's the one that's doing the dividing. You with me? All right. So, how many times does 8 go into 7? Can't do it, right? So we have to bring in the other number. So how many times does 8 go into 76? 8. 8 times 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 9 is 72. So we can do more than 8. You see that? So we've got 9. So 8 times 9 is 72. And now we can subtract. So 76 minus 72 is 4. And then we bring down the 8. So how many times does 8 go into 48? 6 times. You put that up top. Okay? And then 6 times 8 is 48. And then we subtract. Down to 0. No remainder. We do not write R0 at the top. You got that? Yeah. Awesome. All right, dividing 4-digit dividends. Make sure you write that title, dividing 4-digit dividends. The steps for dividing 3-digit dividends and 4-digit dividends are the same. You don't have to write that down. You can just write, well, you can write the steps are the same as 3 digits. Okay? So here, we're still estimating. Okay, so we have 6,493 divided by 75. And when we're using estimating, that's going to help us figure out what our first number is. Okay, so 6,493, let's say that's about 6,400. Okay, and 75, let's say that's about 80. Okay, let's say it's about 8, just because those numbers jive together. Okay, so 6,480. So how many times does 8 80 go into 6,400 or 6,400? Goes in 80 times, right? Because 8 times 8 is 64, right? So 8 times 8, 64, it goes in 80 times. So we're going to try 8 for our first number. Does everybody see how we're using estimation to figure out the first division? Okay? So we have 8 times 75 is 600. Then we subtract, we get 49. Bring down the 3. So now, let's say 70 into 490. What do you think that's going to be? 70 into 490. What's 7 times 7? 49, right? But if I do 7 times 7 and get 49, if I have that 5 in there, it's not going to be adding too much, it's going to make it much higher. So rather than doing 7, we're going to divide 6. Does everybody see how we figure that out? Okay? So, 75 times 6 is 450. We subtract, and we get a remainder of 43. You got it? Yes. Awesome. All right, so for example 4, it says the average person has 1,460 dreams a year. What is the average number of dreams a person has each night? Okay? So here, because there are 365 days in a year, right? If I divide by 365, that will tell me how much a night, how many dreams a night they have. So here we're going to divide 1,460 divided by 365. Okay? Now, how would we estimate here? You can look at this and say that 3, and then let's look at this 14. How many times does 3 go into 14? 4 times. Because 3 times 4 is 12, right? So, that is the first number that you can choose for your estimating, okay? So when you do that, you actually end up with no remainder. Got it? All right. So, let's do these examples down here. Okay. So we have 4,321 divided by 56. Okay? So, let's estimate this to be 50 and this to be 40. How many times does 5 go into 40? 5 goes into 40 8 times. Very good, very good. So, if I did 8 here, would that be a good estimation or would that be too much? Too much. That's going to be too much because 6 times 8 is 48. If I carry the 4, right, that would be 5 times 8 plus the 4, that would be 44. So that's too much. So we're going to go down 1 to 7. Is everybody with me? All right. So, we're going to estimate 7. So now 7 times 6 is 42. Carry the 4. 7 times 5 is 35. Plus 4 is 39. Now we can subtract. 0, 3, 13, and 40. And now we're going to bring down the 1. Now, how many times does 56 go into 401? 7 times again, right? Very good. So, 7, and then that's going to be 392. And then we can subtract. So we've got 3 here, 10 there, then we're going to borrow again, make that a 9. So 11 minus 2 is 9. 9 minus 9, 0. 3 minus 3, 0. So there's my remainder, right? And then we put our remainder 9 up top. Are there any questions? And there's your solution for letter D.